It's 2 a.m. and I wake up to the sound of someone screaming. As I open my eyes, I realize I'm not in my bed. I'm standing in the middle of my bedroom, and the person screaming is me. My heart is beating 1,000,000 miles a minute. I'm terrified, and I have no idea why. I had just experienced my first panic attack. Let me tell you about how I got there so you can avoid the same fate. Have you ever had an experience where you're so overwhelmed? For me, it was grad school. I was studying nutrition, which was and is my passion. And in order to become an RDN, or registered dietitian nutritionist, I had to go through a rigorous process. From grad school to internship, exam, and finally, RDN. A failure at any point in this process, which only accepted half of applicants, could set me back a year or more. So my objective was not simply to make it through. It was to perform at my highest level so I could compete with my peers and be in that top 50%. Now, there were a few places I knew I just could not compete with my peers. One of them was general coolness. Maybe you know these people. My fellow students would walk down the hallway with their blonde hair flowing behind them, looking like Norse goddesses. They seemed to create their own wind, like out of a Hollywood movie. Unfortunately, I've never been able to manage this. The other place I knew I couldn't compete with them was in nutritional intake. My competitors would sit in class with huge metal mixing bowls full of raw kale and sardine salad, munching and smelling the whole place up. I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, but yuck. I knew that if I wanted to get this internship, I would have to focus on my grades. So I started studying. And maybe you've been in a position like this, where you're so overwhelmed with all you're doing, you forget to take care of yourself. You end up missing your check engine light, those signals, much like in a car, that your body needs your attention. For me, my check engine light indicated increased anxiety, trouble sleeping, and ridiculously strong food cravings for things like chocolate, cupcakes, and fried chicken. Yum. For you, maybe your check engine light indicates headache, tummy trouble, or anyone else get that weird eye twitch? Or maybe you're so used to your check engine light being on, you don't even notice it anymore. Probably not a good idea to ignore that. Back then, I ignored the signals my body was giving me, so my sweet corporeal form had to take extreme measures to get my attention. I thought by avoiding my need for self-care, it would save me time and help me perform better. Of course, it had the opposite effect. After grad school, I went from anxious to panicked, trouble sleeping to no sleep at all. I had a really hard time finishing the school year after my panic attack, and I lost that passion and excitement that I had. What are the indicators that your check engine light is on? You probably have a few ideas already. Maybe you're doing the mental gymnastics to justify your inaction. I know I've been there. When that check engine light comes on, sure, you can ignore it, although that didn't work out so well for me. Or you can listen to your body. Today, I encourage each and every one of you to take notice. Thank you. It's a little different in my living room.